So that was an evolution of the S-Type Jaguar with the independent rear suspension. Fiat 126, the P5 from 1965. About 1971. What a fantastic little car from about 1950. And this is the Rover 3500S in the livery of the US Navy Naval Air Station FAW-7. The Citroen Xantia. Well, welcome to our classic car. Today we have headed north up the M6 into sunny Lancashire, and specifically HESKIN Hall. That is the magnificent building behind us. We are here in the 3.2 Sport Jaguar. Alongside is a equally aged Jaguar, an XK8, looking particularly magnificent, the two of them together. And yeah, we haven't been up here before for this particular classic car meeting, so we're expecting great things. A different pool, a different area compared to our usual patch, so I'm hoping we'll see some classic cars we haven't seen before. The sun's coming out, so that's all looking very promising. So let's see what we see here today at HESKIN Hall. Ooh, what do we have here? A Daimler Sovereign, the 420, 1967. What a beauty in black that is. So that was an evolution of the S-Type Jaguar with the independent rear suspension. Oh, wow, doesn't that look great? What a stunning setting for a classic car gathering. Yeah, we're up near Chorley in Lancashire, way off our usual patch. A little Volvo over there. So what's that? The S40. We used to have one of those. There's a DB7. Following a pair of Chrysler 300Cs, we have a very fruity sounding Escort Mexico Mark 1. Very nice. The sun is just starting to break through as well. Lovely deep dish set of steelies on that one. That looks perfect. Right, what do we have here? Fiat 126. That looks very bonny, complete with the roof rack. Wow. Fantastic to see these cars that we haven't seen before. And that was the whole point of heading up the M6 this morning. That's followed by about 1985-ish Mini there. One of the limited edition jobs, I think. Is that the Mini Ritz? Could be, you can't quite see yet. Mini Ritz. Next, heading into view here at HESKIN Hall, we have a lovely Rover 3 litre, the P5 from 1965. A P5 Coupe, no less. So that'll have the lovely straight 6 under the bonnet. A Nissan 300 ZX. Look at old Morris Minor Traveller, 1967. And the last car to ever bear the Triumph name, the Triumph acclaim there of the early 1980s. That one looks to be in fantastic condition. So few good ones of those around now. And the mighty Corvette, about 1971. The Corvette Stingray. Well, you certainly hear that coming. Quite a few later sporty cars and GTs are also here. Fabulous Hillman Avenger just pulling in. Cruise finest now, the Bentley Continental GT. Followed by the Jaguar XK8, almost the same colour as our old XJ. Look at this, a Dodge pickup. This is the era immediately after our job rated. These were the Pilot House era Dodges. This one from about 1950. Probably got the same straight six as ours in it. Fantastic. Here we have a Wolseley 1500, fairly early example of the breed with the earlier small side lights. Slightly different grille compared to the later Wolseley 1500s. These were based on the underpinnings of the Morris Minor, although these all had the B series engine of 1489cc, whereas the Morris Minor only ever had the A series. Look at this Ford! Wow, what an incredible sight. Get up on the wall out of the way of this one. What a fantastic looking vehicle. What a glorious thing. And a much modified Standard Vanguard, I think. Yeah, this old Ford is just incredible. Real patina job on this one. A few in the field repairs on the front wings just to keep them serviceable, but isn't that just great? Right hand drive. Wasn't expecting that. So where's this coming from? Australia maybe? South Africa? What an incredible thing. Who doesn't love an old truck? What a treat. Let me know in the comments which is your vehicle of the meet in this particular video. Don't forget to watch it to the end, because I'm expecting quite a few more cars and other vehicles yet. And here is that incredible Standard Vanguard. Now, what's the story of this? Did it start out as a normal pickup and then received a later box on the back? Who knows? But yeah, what a rarity that is. So I'm not sure what engine's in this one. Originally it would have been a 4-cylinder standard engine, 2000 and is it about 2088cc, something like that. There's many modifications on this one, so it could be running pretty much anything under that bonnet. Very distinctive indeed. What an unusual pairing. And look at this, a Ford, is it a Ford Fairlane? Four-door sedan. Wow, burbly, I can hear it from here. What a machine. Sierra XR 4x4, the V6 engine, followed by the Triumph Stag with a 3-litre V8. Looks like a Mark II Stag with the alloy wheels and the stainless coverings on the sills. Yeah, great to see it with the roof down. Yeah, very swish indeed. Very handsome looking car, I think. Lots of these were re-engined with a Rover 3.5 V8 back in the 1980s. But most people have got the reliability issues that plagued the early cars. They're pretty much licked now, I think, the cooling, basically. Here we have a Vauxhall Frontera. Don't see too many of these around now. Followed by a Vauxhall Cavalier, the Mark II Vauxhall Cavalier, about 1986 this one. Handsome 3-box saloon rather, quite a handsome looking car, I think 4-door, that's what I meant to say, 4-door, 3-box saloon. There's my youthful assistant there, speeding past. Here we have a Porsche 944 on an E-plate, so it's about 87-ish. Handsome cars, I think, I do like these. Oops, have to watch where I trip. Oh, yeah. Oh, good looking car, I think. Now heading into view, we have a Land Rover Series 3 diesel. Looks to be a good one, not too shiny. I don't like shiny Land Rovers particularly. Very original looking, that one, perfect. Followed by a Mini Clubman Estate. That's on an L, so about 1972-ish, maybe 73.
Good morning.
Escort van, sounding pretty purposeful. It's got Citroen centre caps on the wheels. Distinctive V8 Burble now of the TVR Chimera. I think that's the third one we've seen of those today. The Ford Escort Mark V. Now, is that one of the RS 2000s perhaps? Not too well up on my Fords. Yep, the RS 2000. It's a Z28 Chevrolet Camaro. And here's that incredible Ford, the Fairlane, I think. I've got a feeling this one, was this the car? Ooh, Mark 1 MX5, we like a bit of that. And Mini, of course, we like a bit of that. Where was I? Right, I've got a feeling this is the car that won Best in Show at the Inglenook Classic meeting that I went to in 2024. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I've got a feeling I saw this one there, and I have a feeling it may just have been the winner. Oh, there we go, Inglenook Classics. That was a good event. If you haven't seen that video yet, if I think on, I'll put a link to it at the end of this particular video, because that's also up here in this neck of the woods. Yeah, quite an incredible looking car. Certainly eye-catching. It's got a tow bar on it, so you could put an Airstream Caravan on the back perhaps. There we go. Ford Fairlane. Quite the machine. Cars are still arriving, but I think now we'll go for a little bit of a walk around the car park here and just see what is here, because there were quite a few cars here when we arrived which we haven't seen yet on the video. So yeah, anyway, we begin with this Jaguar XK8. It's one of the 4-litre cars. Now, of course, there's our old XJ8, the 3.2 Sport. Carry on down here. There's the Ford Granada that we videoed coming in before. That's on an A plate, so it's a 2.8i gear, I think, this one. Great shade of metallic blue. I don't think there's a car built that doesn't look good in this particular colour. Yeah, this is the daddy, the top of the tree, the 2.8i gear X. Yeah, so this was the posh one. Headrests in the back. All the mod cons, all the modern conveniences. Steering lock there. Handsome machine. Right, oh, what do we see here? Be Still My Beating Heart, an Austin A40 Farina, no less, a Mark II A40 from 1966. What a fantastic little car. Makes me feel bad about our Mark I sat at home. Yeah, great to see this one. So at first glance, it's very, very similar to our Mark I, but there are lots and lots of subtle differences. Wings, the front end is slightly different. Also, slightly longer wheelbase as well. The gap between there and there is longer on these than Mark II cars, just to give a little bit more space inside the back for the backseat passengers. These also have hydraulic brakes all around, unlike the hydromechanical setup on the Mark I, which was lifted straight from the A35 that came before. But there are so few A40s out and about still on the road, so it's a real treat to see this one here today. Absolutely immaculate. How cool is that? Ooh. Talking of cool cars, we have a Triumph Dolomite Sprint purring in, the 16 valve Dolly Sprint. BMW 3 Series, sounds like a 6-cylinder car, the E30 era. There's a Ford P100 pickup, followed by a Mark II VW Golf. I've got a couple of modern Mercs here, we'll focus on the older cars. And this is the Rover 3500S, quite a late example of Rover P6. And 3500S is the manual gearbox version of the V8 P6. There we go, got a bit of info on the screen, JTV 496N. Build date 5th of June 1975, supplied by Mount Edgerton Limited of Derby. Owned by this owner since August of 1995. There's a bit of info on the screen, just pause the video. Quite a bit of info, quite a bit of interesting history there, we always like a bit of that. And the background of this particular car looks like it's had quite the epic restoration. Yeah, lovely car. I do like the steering wheel in that one as well. Yeah, the manual gear shifter there, so I bet that bobs along very nice, and it's a lovely colour as well. So these have unitary construction, so all the panels bolt on to a centre structure, even the roof unbolts, a bit like the old Citroen DS, that was very similar in that regard. And if you found you needed a bit more space in your boot, you could order a kit to have the spare wheel mounted on top of the boot lid. This one isn't fitted with it, but occasionally you do see them at some of the meets that we get to. Yeah, what a beauty that is. And talking of wonderful looking British saloon cars, to its left we have this 1967 Daimler Sovereign. So this was the Daimler version of the Jaguar 420. What a beautiful car in black that is, really sets off the chrome a treat. So yeah, independent rear suspension from the S-Type, basically an S-Type body shell but with a slightly squarer front end, which sort of softened the launch of the XJ6, which also had this very, very bluff front end compared to the cars that came before. But this is beauty, this is a 4.2 litre version of the XK straight 6 under the bonnet of this one, but it's in beautiful order.
It's in between. Oh yeah, what road got the text on there.
Interesting home-built car there. Kit car behind that. What's that, a Marlin or I'm not quite sure. I think so. But yeah, let's get back to this glorious Daimler. The 420, the Sovereign. Lovely pair of lamps on the front, extra lamps. Are these Y-packs? Marshall, the French Marshall.
I think it was £25.
Beautiful car. Right, let's carry on along the row. Ford Escort here. Is this an XR3i? Looks like it with those telephone dial wheels on it. Pretty sure it's an XR3i. Yep, so it's the injected car. This took over from the XR3, which was on carburetors. Quite the variety of cars here today. And another Rover P6, this one, the 2.2 4-cylinder engine, TC, for twin carburetors. And again, it's quite a late one on an N-Reg, so same year as the other one, with a later front on it, also manual. Very neat little cars. Originally designed with gas turbine propulsion in mind, but that never happened in the end. Got an SL Mercedes here, an R129 Mercedes up for sale, £8,000, offers over. Next to that we have the Mark I version of the Ford Fiesta, Project Bobcat as was called when it was being developed in the 1970s. So this is a fairly basic one, no passenger door mirror, still got the 84 tax disc in the window, we like a bit of that. Yeah, great to see these sort of non-performance versions, I guess, if you like, of some of these cars that came out in the 1970s. This is an early 80s one. Let's have a quick peering through the open window. No head restraints either. 4-speed gearbox. Pretty basic. Keep fit windows, wind-up windows, but yeah, rare survivor now.
Later one, the Mark II one.
How many people watching this video remember owning one of these? Maybe you learnt to drive on one of these. Yeah, great to see that.
There's a lot of XRs there, there's not many of them.
Yeah, what a super little car that is. Here's the first MGB, I think, of the day. Nice chrome bumper roadster. Right, let's continue our trawl. Here we have an air-cooled 911 convertible on an E-plate, it's about 87. On a G we have this, a Toyota MR2 Mark II. So it's a 2001 import, stood for 9 years until December 24th. Bit of work still to do, re-lacquer of paintwork, refurbish the alloys. So it's got the lift out Targa roof on this one. Auto box. There we go, mid-engine layout on these 2000 twin cam 16. Quite a good looking car these. I think they're sort of growing on me as the years go by. Maybe it's just because you don't see too many coupes around nowadays, but yeah, I think they're quite a handsome looking car. I prefer these to the Mark I's if I'm honest. There's a little Metro coming in, I can just see a Metro down there. Oh, lovely couple of doggies there as well. But let's have a look at the Metro, see if we can get that coming in. Yep, Metro and a later car behind it. Is that the Rover 100? Or is it a Rover Metro? I never know the difference. It's the Rover 114 GSI. Right, here is that Ford Escort Mark I Mexico. Very nice car. Yeah, we saw these two when they drove in a little bit earlier. But yeah, I love the roof rack on this one, that's just fantastic. Who doesn't love a period roof rack made in Sweden? A Thule. Bit of Smurf action here. This was the sort of the ambassador, the Smurfs, for National Benzol Fuel back in the 1970s. I well remember those. There used to be a garage selling National Benzol near us. Another B. Yeah, little rear engine cars these. Fantastic. There's the Mini Ritz, one of so many limited editions of the Mini that were produced over the years. This has got some nice set of wheels on there. And here we have the Rover 3-litre Coupe. Quite a rare car. Most of the coupes that you see, the 4-door coupes, are the later P5Bs, but this is the original 6-cylinder 3-litre car. Slightly different grille on the front compared to the V8s that came along later. There we go, there's the all-important badge. And the P5Bs have extra fog lights as standard built in under there. So those are sort of the giveaways. Slightly different grille and lack of fog light. When they're driving towards you, that's the way to tell them apart. It's unusual really that the coupes were also 4 doors. They just had a slightly different roofline compared to the saloons that were sold alongside. Lovely cars. I used to have a P5B saloon, and they are really great wafters. It's a nice colour as well, this one. I like this. Real chunky, big, heavy car. Yeah, that's fantastic. Still with the original wheel trims as well, so we like a bit of that. Right, there's that fab little Mini Clubman from the early 1970s. Complete with the applied fake wood down the side and on the back doors. That's yeah, what a great car. So many cars we haven't seen before. New to the channel, so that's all good. Right, let's just do a bit of off-roading across here. Just easy. It's a bit boggy. Right, and this is that Wolseley 1500. Lovely two-tone car. So what year would that be? Sort of about 58, around about that kind of era. Very similar to the Riley 1.5, but these just had a single carb. Right, next to the Wolseley 1500, we've got a little Toyota Celica there. There's that glorious Stag with the roof down. I like a bit of that. Originally when these were designed, they didn't have that huge rollover bar assembly. This was sort of added fairly late on in the development process, but if you go looking for photos of the Stag prototypes, they don't have all this frame, so they did look a lot more elegant without it, but I'm guessing it does stiffen up the structure of the car quite considerably, I would have thought. So this one's an auto. You could get auto or manuals. I remember having a drive of a manual one briefly at the Fairford International Air Tattoo in about 1989. We were camping over, and a gentleman rocked up next to us, and he had a red Stag with a tent in the back. And at the time I was piecing my Mark III Spitfire back together, so we had something in common. And yeah, we've kind of known him ever since, really. Right. This is that Series 3 Landy. Drive it like you stole it. Yeah, super original paint on this. Just how a Landy looks at its best, I think. Working vehicles should always look like working vehicles, I think. Right, let's amble along here. We've got an MGTF. So this was a revised version of the MGF, but without the hydro gas suspension, isn't it? Right, it's bagel o'clock now, that'll keep me going. Right, so there's that RS2000, we saw that one coming in. McLaren Mark 1 version of the MX-5, the NA series MX-5. Yeah, great to see another one of those out and about. There's that immaculate Mark 2 Golf. The mighty Mercedes. And here, on Ross-style wheels, fairly late chrome bumper MGB Roadster. So probably the familiar twin carb B series engine, 1800cc under the bonnet of that one. Oh, it's lovely, lovely condition, that one. There's a little Metro. The Rover 114. A little Nissan. Not quite sure what that is it? Oh. Almira. They never really registered with me, this kind of era of cars, I must admit. What is it? Almira, yes, I was right. Complete with what looked like dealer plates on the back, so that's all good. And nice little details. We like that kind of thing, but this is a sort of car that's all but disappeared now. But it's a sort of car that people can associate with now. You know, there's loads of sporty cars around, preserved, but not so many of your regular family cars. Here's that B that we just got a glimpse of coming in before. Returned from the US in 2006. That's a 75 car. Bit of info there if you want to pause the video. Got some extra wood in there. It's got a wood dashboard. A very clean car indeed. Right, let's go on to this row over here. Yeah, it's been a really excellent turnout. We've got an Alpha estate here. Quite a handsome son of a gun. TVR Chimera here. This is the Marlin home-built car that we saw driving them before. This one on an art registration, so registered in the late 90s. Obviously echoing a style much earlier. And what is this little car that's alongside it? I'm not going that way because it's muddy as anything. As we amble our way around here, it's proving quite popular, so we'll wait till it gets a little bit quieter and then we'll have a closer look at that car that's alongside the Marlin. Here's that incredible little home-built. It's a Midge, which I think is Triumph based, but whoever's built this one has really gone to town with using proper old pre-war components on it just to give it the look. And I have to say, it actually looks way better than most home-builts that I see. Look at the huge, hefty Lucas lamps on the front. So those are lifted straight off a 30s Bentley or something like that. You can see the Triumph front end here. You've got the double wishbone suspension with the very familiar Triumph setup with disc brakes. I mean, you've got the dampers, the coil springs and the dampers inside, but you've also got these adjustable dampers here, and I'm not sure if this is just for effect because these are very much 1930s car. But yeah, with these lamps, it's a great looking car, I think. I like the old Triumph badge as well, the globe. That's nice. So yes, there's lots of bits and bobs that have been fitted off a properly old car to give it the look. You've got a little twin SUs poking through the side of the bonnet there. Probably a Spitfire engine in there, I would have thought. Yeah, even the details like fitting these guards here to protect the paint on the rear mud guards. Got a quick opening fuel filler cap there. So yeah, it's nice. VW camper. Here's that P100 with the Sierra style front end. Of course, the one before this had the Cortina style front panel work. Yeah, great to see one of these. Looks very original paint on this one. Not too bashed about. Often these get worked really hard and they're all crumpled and dented around the back, but this one looks pretty tidy. And I do like an old pickup truck. Right, let's carry on here past the later era VW Beetle. These were Golf based, front wheel drive, 1 Series, a 3 Series. And here there's the Triumph Dolomite Sprint, very nice too. Let's just have a quick look around here. This one's on a P registration, quite an advanced engine. Not entirely developed before they went on sale, which was a bit of a shame. Often seems to be the way we often design really interesting, innovative cars here, but not really properly develop them or build them for that point, and reliability usually suffered as a result. But get a sorted one, which most of them are nowadays, I think, and that would make for a great, fun 4-door saloon, I think. And there's a super little Mini. My brother had a Mini that looked very similar to this back at the beginning of the 1990s. Same colour, very similar wheels actually. Oh, happy memories of ragging that one. There's the Escort van, the Porsche 944, a Saab. We didn't capture this one coming before. This is one of the GM, the General Motors era Saabs, 2005. There's a V6 4-wheel drive Ford Sierra. A Cavalier Mark II, complete with Piccadilly Radio 261 sticker in the back window. I well remember 261. There it is. Operating out of Piccadilly Gardens in the centre of Manchester. And on the end here, here's that Frontera. Rightio, next car park, headed up by TVR Chimera. Complete with the Citroen CX door mirrors, which are standard fit on these cars, I believe. Got the Mark III version of the Mazda MX-5 there. The Jaguar here. C-Class Mercedes of the late 1990s. And here is that glorious Dodge. We like a bit of Dodge here on the channel, so we'll have to have a closer look at that one in a moment, just as soon as I've changed my battery. Just Just headed back to the car for a quick battery swap, and what do we see next to us but this glorious Plymouth. What an incredible looking, nice MGB GT. What a glorious looking car this is, in the livery of the US Navy Naval Air Station FAW7. What a fantastic looking car that is. Not quite sure to what year is it, 1940, so same year as Big Dodge back at home. Similar running gear, they'll have the flathead 6 in it. Probably a similar engine to that fitted in our pickup truck. Wow, isn't that just wonderful? I didn't see this one coming in, must have come in while we were down the other end of the car park. But what an amazing. Look at that, complete with a Chicago newspaper on the back seat. That's just epic. My youthful assistant has spotted it. It's got a Fulton sun shield.
Oh yeah, all sorts of accessories. So is this V8 or straight 60?
It'll be a 6. It'll be a, yeah, it'll be the same engine as the pickup, I think.
Yeah, it'll be the same engine as well.
That's a horn. Yeah, it's a horn, that is.
Pretty cool.
Or siren, rather. Yeah.
So has this been made up? Was it original? Or?
Who knows? But
It does look cool.
it's fantastic, isn't it? Yeah.
1940 Plymouth. Corvette sounded pretty cool, didn't it?
Yes. Yeah, isn't that wonderful? It is pretty spectacular looking. There's a great little Mark 1 Mini there. Well, I say Mark 1, it's a later Mini which has been aged with a Mark 1 style grille. But yeah, isn't that phenomenal? Yeah, there's a super little Mini with the older style front, the crinkly grille.
Older style reg as well.
Yeah. Right, so a Mark 3 MX5.
High mirror.
Something burbly with a V8.
High mirror.
Here's the W12 powered Bentley.
Avenger.
Yeah, the Hillman Avenger.
Bonnet up on the super rare automatic Avenger.
Oh, it's an automatic, I'm advised.
Yeah, it is an automatic. So that's new single Stromberg.
Yeah, this is super. This is June 1970. That was a good year. And look at the interior, and that's automatic. And the interior is like new. Wow. Proper 70s time warp, that one. I remember a neighbour of ours bought one of these new in the 70s. I think it was silver. I often wonder if it's something to do with the Silver Jubilee in 1977. But this one is a fair bit earlier. Still with a sort of the, I'm not sure what you call those, the boomerang or the cow horn rear lights. Yeah, it's in phenomenal condition, this. Next to the Avenger, I'm working my way back towards the Dodge pickup, which is where I meant to be a few minutes ago until the battery went flat. But yeah, there's an incredible Corvette Stingray fiberglass body, as indeed is the TVR alongside it, also fiberglass bodied. Yeah, beauty, that TVR on those wire wheels. I do like that a lot. Window is open.
I like that.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it, with the Mark 1 Cortina backlights. And its younger brother running alongside. Right, let's go and have a look at that Dodge, which is where I meant to be just a few moments ago. So this, like I said, I think this is the pilot house era of Dodge pickup truck, which replaces ours, the job-rated trucks. So this one's 1950, so it's only 3 years later than our half-ton pickup, but a whole generation later in terms of styling. Still, I think, with the flathead 6 in these, and it's got these gorgeous directional turn signals. I bought a set of these, the arrow indicators they call them. I bought a set of those for Big Dodge when that was being restored. Yeah, they're just perfect, and a gorgeous mascot as well. Yeah, what a fantastic looking little truck. There's a Volvo 240 Estate, the Torslander limited edition version of the 240 Estate. Who doesn't like a classic wagon? I know I do. Talking of classic wagons, over here next to the immaculate 205 GTI, we have this beautiful Morris Minor Traveller. It's on an F plate, so late 67 or early 68. Here's the date of this one. Look at all that new wood on there. Beautiful condition. I think the chrome hinges are probably a later modification. I think they would originally have been body colour. Yeah, super example that. There's a Jaguar on manoeuvres there, 2007. Very sharp looking XK8. Followed by Mark III version of the MX-5. And here is the Triumph Acclaim we saw coming in before. So this was a collaboration between, what was it at the time, not Austin Rover, may have been Austin Rover, can't remember. But anyway, Triumph and Honda collaboration. Still with an 85 disc in the window. Oh, I'm seeing double. This one is a 67. That one is probably just a few months newer. Otherwise, identical. Wow. A couple of Chrysler 300Cs. So that's the diesel, the CRD. The CRD, XK8, Rover 75, about 2003, Beamer, and a Merc on the end here. Let's have a look at this Mini. It's a bit quieter now, so it's a late 70s Mini, but aged to look like an earlier example. Lovely little steel wheels on there. Like I say, it's got an Austin style grille. Off goes the Triumph Stag. Burbly, burbly, burbly. Very nice too. There's that lovely A40 over there. Look at this. A Reliant Ant. Wow. Little fiberglass bodied tipper truck by Reliant. What a crazy little thing that is. The bonnet is now up on the 35S Rover. So we can have a quick peer under the bonnet. So we've got twin SUs, inlet manifold between the V of the V8 engine. Quite a compact unit, originally a Buick design. Not too bad to get out the plugs there. Yeah, very, very wide engine bay. Like I said before, these were originally, the idea was they were going to put a gas turbine engine in these. They did build a few prototype gas turbine powered cars, Rover, just to sort of see if it was workable or not, but it didn't really come to pass. They did race the Rover BRM, that was raced by the likes of Graham Hill, is it Jackie Stewart as well, I think. And there goes the Dolly Sprint. Off goes the Daimler Sovereign. What a beauty that is. Mighty Volvo saloon. So what's this, a 940 perhaps? Yep. Porsche 944 arrives. Cars coming and going a bit now. Look at this photograph of that glorious Ford. It's a 41 Ford here with removable camper body on the back. What a great setup that is. Looks like this incredible Standard and the Ford behind it are leaving. Apparently this originally started out as an estate car and a tree fell down on the back of it, and someone decided, well, they'll use the front end and make a pickup truck out of it. So that seems like a great idea. There goes the lovely Rover P5 Coupe, followed by the Toyota. This might take a bit more turning around. Amazing. The Citroen Xantia. That reminds me, I think I saw an XM driving in before, so I need to go and have a look at that. Ooh, there's another one we didn't see before, Vauxhall Viva HC, quite a late one despite the silver and black plates. Oh, there's a Morris Minor for sale, not this one. Morris Minor convertible, Old English white, 3,750, but no, this is the HC Vauxhall Viva. Again, we haven't seen this one before anywhere. Let's go around the back. Two-tone paint scheme on this one.
You have a lot of fun around Europe. Yeah.
Very nice interior in here as well. The bonnet up on the Wolseley 1500. There it is, the inline 4, the B series engine, 1489cc, single carb on these. The Riley was twin carb. So the Riley was a sort of sportier one, and this one was a little bit more sedate, but these still go really, really well with the torsion bar suspension, rack and pinion steering off the Morris Minor. So, yeah, very good, very usable little car. There's the illuminated Wolseley badge on the front. We like a bit of that. Yeah, what a cracking car this is. Single SU carburettor in there. So how did you end up, did you want one of these in particular, or was it just...
No, I was just looking for a classic car.
Were you?
And I was going around various shows, meets.
Yeah.
This one happened to have a for sale sign on it, so I bought it.
So have you had anything like this before? Old?
My last old car was a 57 Chevy 5.7 litre.
A bit different then.
Just a little, yeah.
Which do you prefer?
Any classic. I also have an old Royal Enfield motorbike as well. So
Jolly good.
Yeah, I've also had a 63 Plymouth Valiant.
Did you?
So
that's a bit different.
But they're all like big engines. This has gone for smaller engines.
You've
so
got
being more economical.
You're going for an economy model this time, have you? Yeah. No, it's a very bonny little car. I love the two-tone paint scheme on it.
Yeah, and it is an original colour scheme. Probably not exact match, but it is an original colour scheme. And
still on cross-ply tyres as well. Yeah, we like a bit of that. It's nice that. Yeah, we like a bit of original. You don't see too many cross-plies. Dunlop 520 14s. Yeah, very cool. So they drive nice then?
Drives really well, yeah.
Does it?
I've redone the ignition system, reset the timing and the carburettor because they were out slightly.
Were they? Yeah.
So quite simple to work on.
It's all pretty simple, isn't it? Yeah, pretty straightforward. Can we have a look inside it? Is it open on the other side? Is it? Let's go around here and have a quick ganders at the interior. Quick goosey gander. Very nice too. Isn't that lovely? Yeah. Wow, that's clean, isn't it? It's good round here, isn't it? Because they always tend to go around here where the mud builds up. Isn't that glorious?
Restoration.
Did it?
2006 to 2009.
So 06 to 09 it was restored, was it? Oh, I see, yeah. Oh, blimey. Yeah,
full restoration of
yeah,
it.
someone has gone to town, haven't they? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. There's any photos of it before the work started? Are there any of those in there? Oh, right, there we go. Right, that's sort of as found.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah, yeah.
As we say, the colours are. You can see the creams.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Wow. So there's a strip down. The strip down begins.
Yeah. 2006 to 2009.
Oh, right, yeah.
And they spent 13,000 on it.
Did they?
Wow. That's every receipt, every little item that they bought.
Really? Yeah, it makes sense to buy a car that someone's already done it to, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Especially when you can see what's been done.
Yes.
I
think that's a very important part of it.
That's the beauty of having the history, isn't it? You can see.
That's the original registration number, because that's been sold.
Is it?
It's on a Volvo somewhere now.
Oh, is it? Someone's had that off of the... yeah, some people. Yeah, so back to bare metal. Wow. That's certainly comprehensive, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, no, fair dues to the restorer of this great little car. Yeah. Oh, and it's slowly starting to be put back together there, isn't it? So is this going to be a keeper, do you think?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd struggle to buy a much nicer one, really, wouldn't you? Yeah, no,
see
that's
now,
great.
that's the original registration number.
I see. Oh, right, yeah.
You say I've checked on DVLA, it's on a Volvo now,
Is it?
I think
There we go, the old BMC handbook there, Wolseley 1500. No, it's a beauty that. So we're going to have a look inside. Let's have a quick look inside. Wow. Yes, isn't that lovely? What a great dashboard. With the obligatory peg, of course, on the choke. Yeah, you always got to have that. You need
that from when I had Harley Davidsons.
You need to look out a little wooden peg.
Yeah.
You need a little wooden peg to match the dash. But no, that's great. It's now beautiful interior. Headlining. Did you? Oh, right. Yeah, that's... What a stunning little car.
The only problem I have at the moment is fuel gauge not working.
Oh, the fuel gauge.
Fuel sender being posted out tomorrow for me.
Oh, right.
Not an original one, it's one that's a remanufactured one.
Got you.
Identical to what they were. So
Oh, right.
hopefully then I'll have a fuel gauge that works.
It's always quite nice, isn't it? Oh, it's a beauty, that is. There's a few more cars on the back row here. There's a Ford Puma there. I have a Mercedes SL for sale. Mrs. OCC has been eyeballing this. I think she quite fancies something like that. And here, a Mini, what does it say? It's badged up. It's a Cooper S. It's on a 64 registration number, but it's actually a later car. There's no exterior door hinges or slidey windows in this one. So it's got the early style front on it as well, early grille, that kind of thing. So it's sort of a later Mini that's been given the retro treatment. And it looks pretty cool, I must say. Perspex or plexiglass windows. It's been converted to the back Mark 1 rear panel as well with the smaller backlights. A Lucas Fog Ranger lamp on the back to aid your view when you're reversing at night, possibly on a rally stage. Yeah. BRDC, the British Racing Drivers Club. Twin tanks, so you got a filler there, another filler over there, so twin tanks, one in each back wing. Yeah, quite a funky little car. Next to that, a Morris Minor 1000, a two-door saloon in quite a vivid shade of metallic blue. Yeah, bonny little car. One time you'd see Morris Minors, multiple Morris Minors at the shows and things that we used to go to, but nowadays not so often. You don't see them quite as often. as maybe as you once did. So really cool to see this one here from 1967. Over here we have a left-hand drive Citroen XM. Looks like it was originally in Germany. Yeah, so left-hand drive, I think it's a V6 this one.
Yeah, I found it invaluable down the years.
The super little Wolseley's departing now. It's one of those sort of informal meets where people just come and go throughout the day. It's nice to have a chat to the owner of that one. What a little beauty that is. Fully restored quite a few years ago now and still looking super sharp. I was talking about limited edition minis before, and this is another one. This is the Racing Green, hence the lovely dark green metallic paintwork. Yeah, what a lovely little car that is. Yeah, super tidy, this one. Very distinctive interior in these as well, probably unique, I would have thought, to this particular model.
And do you know what? It's better.
Slightly crusty old farm implement here in the undergrowth. Off goes the mighty Stingray. Quite a few cars are starting to go now. Wow. Who remembers going up and down the motorway looking out for those hiding on bridges with speed cameras? Yeah, it's just starting to wind down a little bit now, but over here we have another 3.5 litre V8 Rover P6. This one not an S, so I'm assuming this will be an auto box. So what's this colour called? Is this tobacco? There's different shades of brown were available throughout the 70s, but yeah, it's definitely an auto, this one. Very similar running gear to that in the P5B. Looks very original, the paint on this one. Very original looking car. Ooh, here's another slightly later arrival that I haven't seen before today. This is a Mitsubishi Colt Sapporo Coupe. This, I think, was at the Inglenook Classics meet that I got to in 2024. An incredibly rare car now. You just never see these around. Part vinyl roof, very 1970s. Yeah, very, very rare car indeed now. Here is that incredible ex-police Range Rover. This one on an X-registration. I'm going to go and find the owner. He's just in the process of digging out the roof lamp. Wow, look at that. So we're going to have a chat to the owner of this. The gentleman himself was a police officer, so this should be quite an interesting chat. All the bells and whistles in here. Look at this, incredible. Right, sir, so this is yours then. So what's your history with these cars?
Well, Greater Manchester Police, when they had a traffic department, had 30 Range Rovers dedicated to patrolling the motorways around Manchester.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. So we go back to 1981. This was one of 10 brand new Range Rovers sat at the police workshops waiting to be kitted out for the motorway.
Uh-huh.
Unfortunately, the radio branch were looking for a new command vehicle, so they pinched it. It didn't carry all the traffic kit. The back of this car was full of 1980s state-of-the-art radio equipment, and it had the capability to tow a 40-foot hydraulic mast.
Oh.
So if you got a missing kiddie or something like that, the Range Rover would appear, put the mast up, hand out personal radios and be a control point for the search.
Oh, I see, right, okay.
Motorway car, 3 years, 250,000 miles, strip it and sell it.
Yeah.
This car used to sit at headquarters and wait for a job.
Ah, I see, right, okay.
It was still sat there when it was 10 years old,
Was it?
with 47,000 miles on the clock.
Wow, that's incredible.
In 1991 they didn't need it as a radio car anymore, but decided to keep it on fleet because of the low mileage.
Yep.
So it went back into the workshops, had all the radio gear stripped out of it, was refurbished with bits of 3-year-old motorway car being sold off. Then it was given back to the radio branch as a runabout,
Oh, I see.
and nobody would drive it. There's no power steering. 1991 I was working on the motorway and put together a road safety display we could take into police station open days, classic car shows, so we could talk to people about driving on the motorway.
Right.
So initially I borrowed it back off the radio branch, took it up to Birch Services, put all the traffic equipment in it, and the first place we took it was a classic car show in GMX,
Oh, I remember
now
that.
Manchester
Yes,
Central.
I remember that, yeah.
And it was so successful at getting people to come and have a chat to us, I asked the fleet manager if we could have it permanently on the motorway, but kept purely for PR work and road safety work.
All right.
His reply was, it's a 10-year-old shed and I've got to service it, I'm going to get rid of it. So we had a paper battle, and I won, which didn't do him any favours with the fleet manager. So the car was officially transferred to the motorway, garaged at Littleborough Police Station, valeted every time it came out, and kept purely for PR work and road safety work. But when I retired from the police in 1997, I knew the fleet manager would take his revenge and scrap the car. So I put it in the police museum in Manchester and then told him where it was.
Yeah.
He said, as long as I don't have to service it, I'm not right bothered. So I thought, great, 55,000 miles on the clock.
Really? Yeah.
Car was in the museum. I thought it'd been safe for posterity. In retirement I started playing with classic cars as a hobby. In 2005, friends of mine at the museum rang me up and said the Range Rover was looking tired, wanted money spending on it which they didn't have, and a decision had been made to sell it.
Oh, right.
And I thought, if somebody buys this car at auction, they'll chop it up into an off-road trials machine, and
Yes.
I couldn't let that happen.
No.
So I asked the police if I could buy it as it was in the museum,
Yeah.
and they said no, you'll have to go to the auctions and bid in it like anybody else.
Like everybody else, right?
So my friends at the museum stripped all the police kit off it.
Yeah.
I went to the auctions at Preston, bought the car, restored the car, took it back down the museum, we put everything back in it again.
Did you?
And then it was on loan to the museum, which is only open on a Tuesday. If I had something at weekend, I could leave my car there, Monday swap them over, the Range Rover was on display on Tuesday.
Wow.
And then they had a visit from health and safety.
Ah.
If they had to have an emergency evacuation of the building, this big police car was in the way, so I got kicked out.
Oh.
So now, as you've just seen, everything that's on the roof can come off the roof. If you take everything off the roof, it goes in my garage at home.
Does it?
Yeah.
It fits in.
And it comes
Brilliant.
out, it supports the emergency services at whatever they're doing. It raises
Right.
money for police charities.
Perfect.
And if I've nothing else to do, I come to places
Come here.
like this.
Yeah, perfect, isn't it? Yeah, it's incredible, that is. So what other cars did you drive while you were
In the police?
Yeah. What did you start out in?
My first police car was an 1100cc Mark 1 Ford Escort.
Was it? Oh, wow.
But then, yes, I went on traffic mainly as a motorcyclist. So I went on in Lancashire Police as a motorcyclist. BSA 250 Fleet Stars, Triumph 650 Saints, Norton Commandos.
Yeah. SD1? SD1?
Eh?
The Rover SD1 at
Yeah,
all?
they were rubbish cars. You know, they might be okay now, but when they were new, they were rubbish cars. But,
Were they?
my first traffic car was a 3-litre GT Capri.
Was it? Wow.
And the guy, because the cars were more or less issued to a small, personal issue to officers to look after him. The guy I doubled up with and worked nights with, his allocated car was a Rover P6, 3.5 litre V8,
Yep.
and I preferred the Rover. It was a big heavy lump and it'd pick its feet up and go.
Did it?
But it was more stable than the Capri.
Bit tail happy, the Capri, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, just there's all these tales about bags of sand and what cement being put in the boot to keep it. The boot was full of traffic kit anyway.
Right.
So no, it was a case of knowing the capabilities of the car and the capabilities of the driver.
Drive within the limits.
But so, the only car that came close to the P6 for me was the 3 litre Senator.
Oh yeah,
that was a phenomenal car, 150 mile an hour car.
Was it?
Yeah.
Fantastic. No, it's really cool to see this, especially with all the gear still in it.
Well,
that's what makes it.
My normal practice is you can see the boot's empty, apart from a load of rubbish. At the end of the summer show season, I have all the traffic equipment.
Do you?
And I take it out at the end of the season to take the weight off the back axle.
Got you.
Because even though it's got police spec heavy duty springs on it, I replaced them last year because it was sat down at one side.
Right.
And it's had a hell of a lot of weight in it for a long time.
I bet, yes.
But yes, everything else, people, does it work? Everything works on it.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Which is quite nice when you get a bit of film work.
So it's never been restored then, is it? It's just as...
It's been... What's the word we're looking for?
Serviced.
Not restored. It's been taken back into service, if you will.
Yeah.
The biggest bit about it was I had to find a complete passenger door for it. It was as ripe as a pear.
Yeah.
And I went into a local scrapyard at Bury. Bear in mind, this is 20 years ago. I went into a local scrapyard, and parked in a corner was a 2-door Range Rover in white.
Oh, I see.
And I said, I'll have the passenger door off that. What I should have said was, I'll have the whole car.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. Thanks for the little tour of this incredible old Range Rover. Right, folks, well, it's starting to get a little bit quieter here now at Heskin Hall, so I think we will probably think about disappearing fairly soon. Let me know in the comments which car or cars were your takeaway choices for this particular meeting. I have to say, honourable mention to the A40 over there, because of course we've got history with A40 Farinas, but I think my choice is this glorious 1940 Plymouth in the livery of the US Navy. What a stunning car it is. So having a chat to the owner of this one. He bought it with the idea, the plan to repaint it as a staff car in matte green, sort of Jeep colour if you like, but I don't think he could bring himself to repaint it, and lots of people said to me, oh, you can't repaint that, you've got to leave it like that. He bought it like this in the livery of the US Navy, and happily it sounds like it's going to stay looking like this. What an incredible car. So thank you so much for watching this particular video. Please check out the rest of the channel while you're here. I'll include links to some other shows that we've been to in recent months, and there'll be loads more show visits, museum visits and so on across the channel during the rest of 2025. So please keep an eye on the channel for that. And yeah, I think it's time to sign off and go and have a cup of tea. So bye for now.